Hello, good evening or good morning if you're in the USA. Uh, I don't know what time it is in Europe, but anyways, we have a lot of parents who watch. It's muted. Yeah, I just want to touch base and hang out for like uh, 10 to 20 minutes talking about stuff that I learn every week. So this week I want to talk about like lying, okay? And we do it all the time. And I don't mean it in a way that I'm telling you not to do it, to stop it or whatever, but to use it to don't use it too much is what I mean. Okay, so what I mean by lying is basically I was listening to like a parenting talk like last week, sorry, right? And then the lecturer is basically saying that, oh, we shouldn't threat children, we shouldn't say things that aren't backed up, or promises that, when we say it, we need to back up with action and words, and and stick to our word. And that's exactly what we talk about within the micro course. And I was thinking, hey, I'm not that person to lie to children. I'm very fair and square. I'm very straight hitting person. I say something and means it, right? And if you've been watching these videos, you would know. And I was wrong. Sometimes I do lie to children. And what I do is that I keep on telling children that, oh, this is the last time. And then actually it's not the last time, because later on I will tell them to do the same thing. And sometimes if I'm teaching like speech sounds, like for instance, I'm teaching a child to say like the S sound or the L sound or whatever, right? Those are very common sounds that I might train a child to say. And it becomes very repetitive, and I become like what do you call that, a personal trainer, at the gym, and then say, oh, one more set, one more rep, and it's kind of like that for me. And I lie that it's the last time, or like one more go, there's actually like 5 more or 10 more goes. And to give you some context why I'm doing that is because for a child to truly master a speech sound that they don't have, you got to go as many reps as possible within that little short span of an hour that I have, knowing that a lot of parents won't do the homework that I give them. And I'm not telling you to, so that's why I'm not telling you to cram your child inside of the micro course. I tell parents to not keep on asking and repeating questions, commands, whatever, right? Inside of the clinic room, because I only have an hour usually. Back in Hong Kong, sometimes even less, like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We have to cram because we know that we don't have enough time. We want to make sure that the money you pay us, or like me, is well spent. So we cram as much as we can. And I don't want you to learn that. I don't want you to learn to cram, to like using like pressure tactics, and reward systems that much at home. All right. It's certainly a good way to start. But since we're on the topic of rewarding, I want to talk about like last week on our membership call. And this membership, for those who don't know, is a membership. I don't actively talk about it because we only want parents who have been through the micro course at the very least, or past clients of mine who can hop on and share their video with me, and I can go through it on Zoom and give some feedback. Okay, so on this membership call, to give you context, one of the parents showed us that, oh yeah, the kid sometimes would bounce around and get a little hyperactive and get a little upset. And upon seeing it, the mom was doing a great job teaching, right? But there's always a but, or else why would they share the feedback? Like, why would they ask for feedback, right? So a constructive feedback was that the reward schedule wasn't like frequent enough. And there was a certain degree of dishonesty from the mom. And I say this, what I mean is that, what I mean by that is not like, oh, she lied like bluntly, and it meant that, oh, after you finish all of this, you can have this, right? So in a child's mind, especially those who are on the spectrum, is that if you tell them that after 3 times they can have it, and then it's 5 or 6 times, although we lost count ourselves because we're so busy teaching, they remember and they get upset. It's like, hey, where's my money? Where's my salary? Where's my reward? Whatever, right? So to give you a little more understanding, okay? If you are teaching a child on the spectrum and you're using some methods that are very ABA, right, meaning applied behavioral therapy, and if you don't know what that is, you can just search on the internet or watch some of the videos that we have here. So you need to remember the structure is for you and also for your child. The structure is structured like that. The reason why it's because like that is because it's effective for the child to learn. Okay, so when we talk about like reward schedules, why it's so important, like why is the reward system so important, is because it's effective. It's an effective way to get to them as fast as possible. It's effective as bam, like that. So that's why I, inside the micro course or whatever, whenever you hear me talk, I don't talk like other speech therapists, right? Other speech pathologists say, oh, you gotta do the, what's that called? Keep it natural, go down to them, talk as if, explain yourself. Oh, it's okay that you're, like you feel upset, or it's okay, you can't talk now, whatever. I'm okay with that, but at the same time, I want to get stuff done, and that's in my blood. Like I'm from a fast-paced city. I grew up there, and I just cannot take it when stuff isn't done. So all of that has its place in time. All right, I'm not saying that what's that called, like floor time, or the other approaches called teach. Those all have very good, they're great for people, for therapists, for you, for parents, for teachers to use. All right, floor time, it's awesome. It's a great tool. It's a great approach. But at the same time, does it get stuff done ASAP? Probably not, man. That's why we're using rewards. Okay, and the reason why is because most parents, they give up. All right, they give up within a month or 2 after trying themselves when they see no results. I can only keep on going when I'm doing like a naturalistic approach. It's only because I know it will work. I've seen it myself, or else why am I using it? Why am I telling you, right? If I do something that's ineffective, I'm basically, in the Hong Kong saying, I'm breaking my own bowl, where I eat from. I'm getting myself into a whole load of trouble by using techniques that don't work. So for you, why I'm telling you to use rewards and stick to it and be like faithful, and don't lie about how, like it's a what's that called? It's a very it's an honest mistake, like you forget, right? But you have to have that structure inside of how you teach your child, or else they don't feel like their time is being wasted. They could be rolling on the floor, that's fun, right? Or they could be like trying to play with other toys or other things. If your reward isn't enticing enough, there's so much stuff to do at home. All right, think about in a speech therapy center, there's literally nothing else. I control all the toys, and a lot of parents will give up after a month or 2 and say, man, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a therapist. I'll give it back to someone who can do the job for me. All right, I remember there was a parent who texted me back in the day. Agents of Speech was still I was still coaching parents one-on-one, and one of the parents told me, Ming, I don't think I'm cut out for this. I can't do it anymore. I'm not as patient. There's people who get master's degree like me, by the way. Like it's so stupid to go through a whole master's degree just to learn it, and then well, wait, I was saying that the mother was saying that there's people who have a master's degree who can help me, right? But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that I don't have enough time with your kid, okay? Okay, so Korean, welcome here again. So not really encourage reward system for kids. Observe side effects real quick. The side effects come if you don't know how to manage the rewards. If you don't manage it and tell them who's in charge, obviously the side effects will come. The side effects of what you're talking about, Korean, I believe, is that, they're starting to grab the stuff from you, starting to get a little fussy and whatever. that's because your structure isn't well enough and they think that they can get away with it with you. That never happens to me or any parent who has gone through the steps like faithfully. I'm not saying this to you, Koyan, because sometimes when when I tell you something, you keep on doing it and you think that it will, the results will be different. I'm telling you, you're learning, right? And so is your kid. So listen to other people who have done it before and has worked. Look at the group. Everyone has gone through the same stuff as you, So the side effects of reward system is the side effect of your lack of a structure and a system. So if you systematically increase the rewards, systematically decrease the schedule of them getting a reward, that wouldn't happen. I can guarantee that. Okay. Some might say it's a science. I don't think so. It's just human nature. The more systematic you do it, the easier for the kid to understand. And the side effects won't come out, as you say. There are actually no side effects. There's only a misuse. You can have a gun, you can use it to kill people, or you can use it to. Actually, there's no good use for a gun. I'm sorry. Let's talk about a knife then. You can cut food, or you can murder someone with it, right? Like there's a saying in Chinese. Water can. What's that? Water can lift the boat, and it could also sink a boat. Anyways, so Nabil, it's been a long time, Nabil. So my daughter likes pizza, and I tell her I'll give you pizza after you finish your work. So when she's done, she asks me, Mama, pizza. All right, that's great. Okay, so that's a good use of reward, but you have to think about how to fade it out. Okay, systematically go through it, and then slowly, slowly decrease the amount of pizza. And this is very important, Nabil. This was about what I'm about to say. Okay, the thing about rewards, physical rewards, or tangible, edible, whatever you call it, is that it's linked to you. You're the person who's giving, right? So why is that children who come my way, nowadays, I don't need any reward. I don't probably need much other than some toys that we're playing together. That I'm not feeding them snacks. I'm not feeding them drinks or whatever that I used to. Meaning maybe a month or two ago. It's because when they work with me or when they play or study with me, they know that I will be there to help. Number one, I'll be there to tell them exactly what they need to do, and I won't let them fail. Okay. And whenever I praise them or let them, when they learn something, they feel rewarded. Okay. And because I've been giving them so much goodies, they have a good relationship with me, meaning I'm the person who gives. I'm the person who rewards, and I'm the person who praises. I'm the person who teaches and also helps them no matter what. So you need to be that person too. That's what I'm talking about. So Nabil, you're getting there. Whatever you say, good job, excellent, praise them. And I remember when I first started in therapy, and I also listened to the supervisors who taught me. First day of my job, I had to think of 10 ways to praise a kid. Coming from a Chinese background where, praising just means sarcasm most of the time, if you know Hong Kong culture. So it was pretty difficult for me. And then the supervisor also asked the parent who came in for parent training to learn how to praise. So homework for you is to think about 10 ways, not just good job, nice work, or excellent. Think about oh, awesome. Hey, you did it. You got it. Hey, think of 10 ways, right? You got it. Boy, girl, I don't know. Excellent. Outstanding. I don't know. Different ways, different tones, make it natural. Okay. The problem sometimes I see therapists and children, not parents and therapists and teachers, they go very how to say, they make it very unnatural by only going good job, yeah, and good job is always the same thing. So make it as what's that called? Make it as natural as possible. All right. So great. So Koyan says, agreed. The way of using the cool crucial side effect observed referred to the eldest kid praising is better than rewarding with materialistic. Yeah. That the thing we're talking about is you're rewarding, or are you spoiling, right? There's two different things. That's also what I learned sometimes. Like for me, it's always after work, after work, after work. You get the reward. After work, you get the reward. After work. I'm not a parent yet, but for me, at least when I'm teaching children, sometimes the materialistic is the only way to get through to a kid who doesn't understand much. That's what I mean. Okay. So someone asks, is it okay to postpone the reward just to test her self-regulation? Not consider lying, just postpone it, but sometimes I switch it with a less attractive reward. Okay, so I think if you said to her that you are going to give her this one, then there isn't I don't know, like why would you test someone's self-regulation when you know what's going to happen next? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the best way, as I believe. Like you should teach anyone to self-regulate. Self-regulation is when you tell them that if they regulate, they will get more. Okay, there's literally, if you think about it from an economic standpoint, okay, I'm telling you to think about this from a very logical and like with reasoning. Okay, so let's say they do something and then you delay the reward, but then after you delay the reward, they get the same thing. All right, but that whenever like that kid cannot wait, I'm guessing your kid can't wait, and whenever there's a reward like around, they would go crazy, right? So what I'm trying to say is, what's it in for him? What's it in for her? Why did you delay it when before it wasn't delayed and they get it, and now they delayed it and it's still the same reward? So I'm telling you, if you're trying to test her self-regulation, you shouldn't do that because you haven't taught it yet. So what you need to do is to tell her in advance. You say, look, you need to wait, and you need to teach the wait word. I don't know how great your child's speech and language ability is. And tell them, okay, you have to wait. The longer you wait, the better the reward. Okay. Oh, I see it. It's actually Rohana who's asking this. Cool. So you need to tell her in advance, like if you wait longer, you get more. She cannot generalize that in her brain. So there's no way in testing. No need to test. Just teach her. Right. The longer she waits, the bigger the reward. That's what we're trying to teach. Right. That's why we're trying to fade it out, because we're trying to teach what we call what's that called? Delayed gratification, right? So the longer someone waits, the bigger the reward. Then we would be hardwired to wait, to do the extra step, to grind a little bit more, because we can think long term now. Okay, so you can never test someone's self-regulation. Not even like just us, right? It'll be very difficult. If I tell you like Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin crashed, right? But if I were to tell you, like we all know this, right? If you were to put like, sorry, I'm leaving the topic about teaching children, right? But making money, everyone knows about that. If I told you, and you would know that in 10 years time, if you just put your money in Amazon, your money would have 20 times. But how many people can actually do it? Not a lot. So if you test someone's self-regulation, just look at just human nature. Everyone knows if you put it in an index fund, right, for a compound interest, right, it's going to work out. But no, everyone's going to try Bitcoin. Everyone's going to try shorting the market. I don't know what they call it. And we're not here to discuss money either. Okay. But what I mean is there's no point in testing. If you have to test them, make sure you have a stronger reward at the back. Okay. If you switch to a less attractive reward, then what you're doing is that you're punishing her for doing the work and waiting. So that's actually the opposite if you think about it in a different way. Just imagine it like you waited for 2 years and then you got something lesser. What does it tell you? Waiting is stupid. Do something else, So I hope that answers your question, Rohana. So yeah, Koyan says, yes, I give it before work and it works too. It's a trust build. Yeah, it's a trust build. Exactly. That's what I mean. Very good. Okay. See, now this is a perfect example. So Shushu, thank you for putting it here. If you say, hi, my son is 3.5 years old, or 3 or 5 or 3.5, I don't know. He has speech delay. How can I help him? Hey, this exactly what I'm getting every day. So to all the parents out there, if you want help, right? If you want help, do not write like this to me, because what you're doing to me right now is like telling I don't know what your job is. For instance, if your job is like a doctor, and then you say, hey doctor, my body hurts, how can I fix it? I don't know, like nobody can answer that. Or you fix computers, and then you say, oh, I can't turn on the computer, can you help me? Right? And no one's going to be able to help you if you just ask like that. It's always, I have to ask more prompting questions in order to get a better idea, right? Or you can just go to agentsofspeech.com/micro, read the stuff there, see if it describes your kid. If it does, then join. If it doesn't help, then ask for a refund, right? We don't need to go in a back and forth, because I really cannot service everyone who comes my way in this fashion. Impossible to help. When you like Shushu, I'm sorry if I'm saying this, right? That makes you feel unhappy, but it's a great opportunity to tell everyone how I feel, right? I don't know if I don't know what your job is. It's like if you're a financial analyst, right? I say something like, the numbers look wrong. Like, how can I make it right? You know what I'm saying, right? So it's impossible. All right. Thank you for this question. I don't know, like how would I answer this is, I don't know. I really don't know how I can help. I don't know if it's if what you mean by speech delay is really what a speech delay is, because speech delay is thrown around so easily, as I was talking before, right? If you search in YouTube, just take like 5 seconds of your time and search what is speech delay. You will understand that it's actually a misconception. And how would I know if you're referring to that in any way? So it's impossible for me to answer anything like this, Shushu. You got to give a lot more context. All right. So let's get back to the matter at hand. So giving rewards, all right, that's one thing. Other thing is like, if you're lying, not only because of rewards, right? How about to some extent, we are all trying to like say like, when we are presenting a task to a child, or presenting a book, presenting a whatever, I don't know, a material that you're trying to teach your child with, right? Have you taken the time to explain explicitly how it should be done, right? Does your child know what the requirements are? So a lot of times what I see is my child doesn't speak in a sentence, right? So sometimes the mom, not sometimes, most of the time, the mom will ask, what do you want? And then the kid says cookie. And then the mom says, say the whole sentence, say the whole thing, right? What's the problem here? When, if you think about it, if you ask me at a restaurant, like let's say, okay, wait, let's say I am the waitress, right? Or waiter, sorry. I'm the waiter. I come over, I say like, how can I help you? Like, what do you want, right? Basically. And then you would say, I would like a fork, please, right? Or fork, right? So you will have that exchange, because there's a social setting that you have to be a little more polite, or else the waiter might give you even worse service than he or she already has, right? So that your kid doesn't understand that. So if you think about that, if you talk to an elderly, right? They don't care about anything. If you ask them, what do you want? And they basically give you one word replies. It's not that they don't know how to speak in the longer sentence, right? It doesn't mean that they don't understand. They need to be polite to you. They do, but they choose not to because they don't care, right? But your child is totally different. They didn't know the requirement for them to achieve the same thing, like getting a fork from you or getting a spoon from you requires a much longer sentence, right? So therefore, it's not their fault. You are basically setting them for a failure because, you didn't explain to them. And in some extent, that's a form of dishonesty, right? It's like, sometimes I refer to children talking as much as, it feels like they are paying money, because speech is so difficult for them that they have to muster the effort and the courage to try. Okay. And this analogy is actually, um, how to say, is deemed to be correct by some of my students who are a little older. They say, "Oh, I have to use so much effort. If you don't tell me in advance, I don't think I would have done it. If after I said fork, actually you wanted me to say like, I want fork, please, or whatever." That few more words, a lot of us take it for granted. Okay, and we don't understand that actually children is like paying money, because every word is like $1 hard earned. They need to go through their brain and try to make the sounds happen, and then they pay and they say, "Oh, fork," and then you say, "Whole thing, please," and then of course they're gonna try to ignore you or try to grab it, because they're like, "Mom, I thought, or Dad, I thought I told you already. If you're not giving it to me, I'm just gonna grab it." There's one student of mine who says, how to say, this is the whole interaction. I'm sure you can totally relate. So what happens is that during mealtime is like, suddenly the mom feels like a hand pulling onto her, and then trying to get the mom to feed the kid, right? And then the mom asks, "What do you want?" And then the kid says, "Eat." And then the mom says, "Say the whole thing." And then the kid just moves the head right there and just eats it, right? That's the problem here, all right? Sometimes we use every opportunity, and like for me and you to have this conversation. I always have this conversation, right? When I was in masters, when I was in grad school, right? The supervisors would always say, use every opportunity, teach the parents, use every opportunity as a chance to teach language for them to talk, and don't let them have it unless they talk, right? But what happens here is that it becomes, number one, stressful. Number two, you haven't told them the real the requirement. So the bar gets set too low for the kid, and then when they try, and then you say, "Oh, say the whole thing," or you say, "Oh, whole sentence, please," or say nicely or whatever, the whole requirement goes up, the stress builds up, they don't want to do it anymore, and they try to do it the old way, which was like hand pulling or like just getting it themselves, right? So how to tackle this is, yes, we still need to treat every opportunity as a way, as a timing for teaching language and communication and whatnot, right? But we need to be a little more selfless. We need to start like describing a little bit more. We need to start telling them exactly what to do, what is required of them. If they cannot, we have to help them right away. We cannot let them fail. We have to let them have a little bit of what they want first, instead of a 1 or 0 situation, which I see a lot of moms especially do, is like, once they say it, no matter if it's like the mom squeezes every word out of the kid, like I want to eat spaghetti. Okay, I'm reenacting both the mom and the kid here, which is kind of awkward, but so you have to think about it in this way. Okay, got it. Thank you. So how you tackle it is, we talk about it a lot inside of micro course, and I don't want to oversell it. I mean, it's just a very easy course to go through anyways, right? So now you understand, to be totally honest with your kid means that they totally understand what is required of them, right? Is to be a man or a woman of rewards, to give the rewards exactly at the time, exactly at the prescribed method and the thing that you promise, right? Why would anyone trust you? And why would anyone want to work with you anymore if you drag on payments and then you give them the wrong sum of money, right? That just sucks, right? Don't do that. don't be that person. Don't be that parent, okay? And then the third thing is that you have to be on the same page. You both have to be on the same page. And because we are the ones who can communicate, show, tell, describe with our words and our whatever, right? We are the people who should be doing exactly all the describing, the talking, the teaching, the showing, right? So if they don't understand and whatever, and they get mad because they didn't understand what was going on, it's our fault. That's all I'm gonna say. It's always our fault, because it's not that if they would have learned language their own way, they would have, right? So everything that we can control is our fault. Everything that we cannot control is not our fault, right? For instance, a lot of moms say, especially the moms, by the way, and it's crazy that this becomes a problem. It's like, oh, it's your fault that it's the mom's fault that they're giving screen time to the kids so much that they become speech delayed, or like, oh, it's because they didn't whatever, or like didn't have the supplements, or during pregnancy they were stressed or whatever, they become autistic. I don't know about that. Could you have controlled that? No, then it's not your fault, right? Really, I mean it. I truly mean it. Okay, and it really isn't your fault that things turn out this way. I mean, no one could have known. No type of genetical. If it's a genetic disorder that you knew in the first place, then it's a risk factor. It's not your fault, right? But all in all, okay, that we have, like, no matter, for me, right, yet to be a parent, but bringing a cat into the house or bringing a child into the house, these are all like our decisions, right? It's our selfish decisions. This cat could have been on the street. I brought her in, right? A lot of people would say, oh, I'm so glad that she met me or whatever, but she wants to go out every day. She didn't ask for it. So did your child. He didn't ask for him to say a whole sentence in order to get what he wants, right? He didn't ask to be born inside of your household either, right? And he didn't ask for it to be delayed at all, right? It's hard. It's difficult. And the number one thing, like, just before I leave, okay, the number one thing that I hear the most from children who were on the spectrum, and from like learning from adolescents or adult ASD people, is that most of them, they don't want to be a nuisance to anyone. They would much rather just climb inside of their mother's womb again and reverse their birth. They don't want to be. That's what they told me, exact words. So we need to do whatever we can. And as a parent, as a mom, if you're watching this far into a live about such a boring topic, kudos to you. Okay, you've done a great job already. It's just a matter of time until you get the gist of it and you can teach your child almost anything. Okay, and I mean it, because I've seen it happen. All right, so remember to keep on going. Right, that's number one. Number two is, like, remember, it's not your fault. Number three is, try not to lie to your kid. Be as honest as a man or a woman you can be. Okay, make sure you teach, demonstrate everything and how it works to the child, because that's what we can control. So it's our fault, right? And at the very last stage is that when someone tells you how it could work for you, the only thing that you can do to see if it's true or not is to try it, right? And I see a lot of parents, especially the moms, right? 90% of people who watch this stuff, who watch my stuff and buy my course and stuff, are moms. And I'm very happy that you're here. But most of them would much rather try dietary, ways of like helping a speech delayed child. And, not saying that people are lazy or whatever. It's just that it becomes something that is external and not something that you can work on. You know what I'm saying? So all these things no one else can do it, right? As I told you, the reason why I lie to kids a lot, as I talked about in the very beginning of this video, is that I don't have enough time. I got to use these tactics like a sleazy salesman to get them to do whatever I want them to do within that time frame. You think it's super hard to fit in enough trials that I can morally feel that, that's a good set of practice we did today. That justifies the mom paying me $100 USD, for like 45 minutes. And, is that struggle inside the heart. And number two is that I also have to tell the mom and show the mom and let the mom or dad to demonstrate it in front of me at least one time. All right. And that's why I have to do all these things. Like, you don't need to. You really do not need to say these things as, if you finish, I'll do whatever. Or use threatening tactics like that. That's another lying thing that I didn't talk about right here, but it's a big thing. Back in Hong Kong, whenever the kid wasn't doing anything, the mom would say, "Mom's gonna go out. Mom's gonna go out," and then she pretends to go out, and then the kid goes, "Ah!" And then the mom goes, "Then you better do your stuff." Have you done that before? I'm sure you have. At least some of you. So that's crazy to think those kind of tactics are long term. It's not. It really isn't. Like, how many times would it happen until you know that it's just stupid? And I'm gonna share a little bit. I don't think maybe my parents are watching right now, but my dad used to threaten me a lot with sending me to another school. And by the time I was like 5, or wait, I give him a little more credit. Maybe by the time I was like 9, I knew it was just hoax, man. I knew that that's not true. It will never happen. I don't care anymore. That threat has no type of hold on me, And same goes to your kid. If you say mom's gonna go out, dad's gonna go out, mom's gonna call the cops on you. What kind of threat is that, by the way? That's a very Asian thing. I'm gonna call the cops. If you're naughty, they're gonna come and catch you, whatever. That kind of stuff, it probably doesn't work anymore for any kid who's older than like 3.5, most probably. And at 4, children learn how to lie. And where do they learn to lie from? Probably us. So you better know that. Okay. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. And that's all. Thank you. Do leave the questions you have inside of this comment section of this live video. I will come back to it and answer some of it to the best of my ability. And I'm really, really, really happy about the number of people who have joined our the Facebook group, and we're on to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, which is very good, by the way. It's very difficult for a Chinese man talking about like teaching children and speech pathology, which is like traditionally a very white woman business. If you see a speech pathologist or a psychologist, it's always a white woman, right? How can you get someone and you get someone in a t-shirt? And one time, sorry, I'm in the mood for talking. This is one time there's this parent who said, who's this guy? It's a Chinese guy in a t-shirt. I don't think he's that professional, right? Needless to say, we didn't chat at all, but doesn't matter. As long as we're sharing, and it's not only me. I don't care about what I say or whether you agree with me or not. What I want is that you try out the stuff and act and take action and do things that have been working for other parents, not what I know. I don't know a lot, I only know how to try things out and stick to things that work, which aren't a lot, by the way. So, don't need to agree with me. Don't need to join anything, don't need to listen to me. I'm just another guy on the internet. But at the same time, do keep on trying. Okay. That's the only thing that separates a child that, can speak earlier or later or whatever. At least that's what, what's that called? At least that's my student who's like now 30 years old on the spectrum told me, if it wasn't for the mom who kept on trying, I don't think, she said she probably wouldn't have made it. As in can talk. That's all. Okay. And if you guys are interested, we can ask if she's willing to do a sharing or whatever sometime soon. But anyways, that's all for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Always a pleasure. And oh wow, Korean. Yeah. Very nice comments. Thank you so much. And that's it for tonight, guys. I'll see you next week, Monday. And for those who are already inside the micro course, last housekeeping announcement: the membership for the video feedback is back on. It's open until June. So you need to join between now and June, and then we'll close it. And that's because we're changing up how the membership is. Okay. And the previous things that are included within the membership, I don't think it's that important. So I've gotten rid of it. But at the same time, if you join before that, it will be included. And what's included are like other courses that teaches you from like 0 words to like word combining to like answering questions to storytelling. That's the whole package that I can put together myself. And it's been a tedious process trying to do so solo. It's hard. It's very hard. So that's it, guys. And I remember, like, sorry, just in the mood for talking tonight. I remember putting together like an hour and a half like parents workshop would take all of us like, I don't know, 2 weeks to put together because there's so much stuff going on. And now I'm like trying to cram in as much as I can in a way that you can understand, and to ask permission from parents, from the memberships and like my past clients, if I can show some of the videos that they've done that are excellent, so that they don't need to always listen to me demonstrate and talk, and see other parents doing it and other kids improving. I think that's the best thing that the membership can, or the courses can offer, is that you're not alone and there's someone who's been doing it and been succeeding, right? Alrighty. Koyen, you just need to go inside the Facebook group, the Ages of Speech one, and then there's a Google form there you can fill in and you can apply. Okay, so that's all. See you guys. Bye bye.